I just want to just understand this issue of South Sudan. Of course, we've seen a civil war going on since 2013, and we've had quite over about 1.6 million people displaced and thousands of others dead from this particular incident. I'm now joined via Skype by a South Sudan campaigner, Ntagoah. If you can hear me, why has this peace deal between the two factions taken quite a long time?
Indeed, the warring parties have on various issues since IGAD started mediating and facilitating the peace talks in Addis. They have disagreed on the structure of the transitional governments of national unity. They've disagreed on issues concerning the time frame of the unification of forces and issues of federalism, other issues of power sharing, and issues to do with demilitarization of Juba and other major towns. And even as of today, these are still issues that both parties are disagreeing on. Now, IGAD has convened a heads of states level summit in Addis today, and they hope to bring both parties to the conflict to agree on a consensus on a way to ending the hostilities that have devastated South Sudan for almost 2 years now.
What are we expecting at the end of this meeting? Should they not sign this particular deal, what next for South Sudan?
I mean, a peace agreement offers a lot of hope for South Sudanese. As I have said, this conflict has devastated thousands of people. Thousands of people have survived brutal human rights violations, including mass killings, watching their relatives die, issues like rape and other forms of sexual violence. Children have been abducted and even recruited to the armed forces. So a peace agreement will be a way to end the hostilities, get the guns to go silent, and also offer a hope for South Sudanese to be able to go back home, rebuild their lives, and also for the government to be able to offer reparations and ensure persons are held accountable for atrocities that have been committed in the context of this conflict. And in that regard, we definitely hope that by the end of the day, the parties will come to a consensus and agree to end the hostilities such that South Sudanese can finally rest easy and move on to another chapter of trying to rebuild their lives, and also for persons responsible to be held accountable.
Maybe if we could talk a bit about the sanctions that might be put in place. Of course, you and they are saying that if they don't, if they fail to agree, South Sudan may face sanctions. Do these two parties know about this, and don't they care about this?
Sanctions have been threatened many times. In fact, November 2014, IGAD had threatened asset freezes and sanctions and even an arms embargo against the country and also against persons responsible for violating the ceasefire. And so so far, six SPLA generals from both sides of the conflict were sanctioned by the UN Security Council last month, and the US and the UK and Norway have also sanctioned several solid steps, such as the establishment of a hybrid court, solid steps such as getting South Sudan's neighbors to be responsible for implementing the sanctions. So sanctions themselves will not be meaningful on their own. They have to be accompanied by several other things.